Hello guys and welcome back to episode 8 of our Blades of Glory series. In this episode we go back to the usual sort of format of 6 games that I play and then 1 we'll watch live, but we did get our youth intake this episode and I'll let you in on a secret. We got a couple of pretty good players, so you should stick around for that. But before then, let's have a recap of the games. The first game was against Leeds, the derby. As you know, we actually managed to beat them twice this season, once in the cup, once in the league. So we went with our attacking 5-3-2. That's really what we're going to be going for in this episode and in the future. Putting an attacking midfielder in there in our home games and then putting a defensive midfielder in there in our away games just to make it a bit more solid. We got a penalty early on, Sharp missed it, and then he missed the rebound. You can see there, that wasn't great. That was really Sharp for the whole game. And as I say, after Sharp missed quite a few chances and we had a lot of pressure, they scored. Pablo Hernandez with a decent shot from about 8 yards out, I'd say. But we did manage to equalise just after half time, actually. Brooks finding in the net, really happy for him, want him to do well. And that's how the game ended, 1-1. We did rue the missed chances in the first half, really, but in the second half they came much more into it. So overall, I'd say a draw is probably fair. Yeah, but Sharp just did not have a good game at all. 5.8. I didn't feel comfortable enough to bring Donaldson on, though. You'll know the reasons why. The next game was up against Reading, who are actually in first place, surprisingly, this season. So we dropped back our defensive mid, and we also brought in Donnell Henry on the right side of the defence. I don't think you can see there, and Lafferty as well. And this game ended in a bore draw. You can see there, Sharp was injured. That was probably the worst thing to come out of the game. We did bring on Donaldson, and he actually hit the bar late on, but he couldn't find the net. Overall, it was a pretty solid defensive display, really. I think most of these shots were from outside the area. We had a couple of good chances. Maybe they had a couple of good chances as well. But overall, a pretty good result against first in the league. The next game was at home to QPR, who were in a similar sort of position to us in the table. We went with our more attacking formation, but we did actually drop Hayden back just as an experiment kind of thing, really. Conser came back into the team, and we had to play Crouch and Donaldson up front, so that was quite an interesting combo to watch. There was actually a bit of a clash of kits in this game if you watched it in 3D, so I'm glad we're watching it in 2D. But we managed to get a goal in the 79th minute after lots of pressure. Ortola, if you saw that, he was the pre-assist there, so I'm very happy with him. He's come in and done very well so far. The next goal, Stevens heads it, I think, and then Smithies makes a meal of it. But he actually played very well this game, Smithies, before that cock up. That probably brought him down to 6.7. But yeah, good result. What we'd expect really against QPR and what this formation is trying to get at, really. We're going to dominate games. We got a lot of possession, which I didn't really expect to get that much possession, but that is a lot of possession. They didn't really have much of a chance this game. I would have been very disappointed if we did not win. But Donaldson actually had a great game. Fair play to him. He stepped up, given that our other strikers are out. The next game was against Hull, who were actually surprisingly down in 17th. And we went with our deep formation, obviously being away. We went with Brooks and Crouch up front, which I thought would be quite an interesting combination up against Dawson, who lacks a bit of pace. I reckoned Brooks could really exploit that. And it was a cracking game, and he did manage to exploit that. But Stearman, who came into the side as Sharp was not in as the vice-captain, really cocked up there and let Bowen and Adelaide, quite young players, capitalise on his mistake. But Brooks there, as you see, in that advanced forward position, doing exactly what we want, running down the wing, crossing it into Crouch, finds the net with ease. He actually had another very similar chance shortly after that one that he didn't put away, but it was the same combo working well. Adelaide put it in after his assist to make it 2-1 to Hull, and then we managed to get one back. Crouch using his actual pace, not his acceleration there, to latch onto the ball, score his second goal of the game. At this point, Brooks had to come off, Carter Vickers had to come off, and they scored when we had 10 men on the pitch, so that was a bit disappointing. And really, I don't think we deserved to lose this game. It was pretty even overall. Hull are a better side than the one that is in 17th place in the league. Josh Bowen, I believe, Jordan Bowen, sorry, Jared Bowen had a great game for them. And Peter Crouch had a good game for us. Our strikers sort of coming back now. Ched Evans, you can see there. So hopefully that can help us push on and maybe get results where we could have got a better result here. And the second game in a row now where I managed to get the screenshot of this nice graphic before the game. We have Crouch and Donaldson up front. That is forced because of now another injury to a player we play in striker in Brooks. Shaibu was on the bench, as you can see. Lundstrom came in for Hayden as he was injured, and Donnell Henry came in for Carter Vickers as he was injured. And this game went as we wanted it to. It was only a 1-0 with the goal coming very early on. Conser there, good ball into Donaldson. He scored a couple recently. He's impressed this episode. He's made up for some less than impressive performances in the past. We should really have won by quite a lot more. We had a lot of shots. They really didn't have a sniff at all in the game. They just didn't look very good, Burton. I think they were down there in 21st, so they could potentially slip into the relegation zone. That would not surprise me at all. One of the main things from this match, though, is the fact that John Fleck has come back, and he's actually come back. He's pretty much full fitness now. When we get into our actual live game, this is the penultimate game before that. So yeah, that was great that he came back, and a good result. It could have been better, but I can't complain about winning. The last game before the live one was against Fulham. They were quite a tricky opponent. They were 6th. They're sort of battling for that playoff position, and of course, you know their squad is pretty good as well. We actually managed to start Fleck in this game. That was the main change, as well as Carter Vickers coming back into the side. And the game ended 1-0 for them. It was rather disappointing, to be honest. We held on for a long while, but they got this goal in the 84th minute. Ojo with a lucky rebound to himself. To be fair, it was a pass to himself, so maybe a bit less lucky than if it was someone else. But yeah, the game finished 0-0. I mean, 1-0. Ortola had a really good game for us. He made a lot of saves. They had a lot of shots in the first half. Second half, it was pretty even. So maybe we did deserve the loss. But it was quite a solid defensive display, even despite these shots. If we just have a look at the analysis, we can see how many long shots and stuff they had. They had quite a number of these. Match stats. Yeah, long shots 5, half chances 6. They actually, to be fair, they probably did deserve the win. We had a couple of chances in there, but we're not able to capitalise on them. But now let's have a little look at the table before we get into the game. Here we are then looking at the table. We are very much in the middle of the table, maybe not in position, but with 13 points off Fulham, who just beat us in the playoffs, and we are 14 points, although they have a game in hand, above Nottingham Forest. I am surprised Burton have not slipped down there more. They really didn't have the quality. Maybe they've just managed to draw quite a number of games. That's how they've stayed up there. Sunderland now taking the top spot, and Wolves, that's not that surprising. These kind of teams up there, all the teams you'd expect to be there. Bristol City dropped down. Birmingham dropped down now, but I think most of the teams above us you'd expect to be above us, and then most of the teams below us you'd expect to hopefully finish above. So it's pretty much what I would have expected at the start of the season, I'd say, at this stage. Now, before that game, I promised you earlier we'd have a look at the youth intake, my favourite time of the season, and we've got a 5-star potential lad, Mike Clayton. Nothing really to shout about in the technical abilities, but mentally he looks reasonably good, apart from that determination. For a 16-year-old, though, there's plenty of time to improve that. Physically, not great either, but decent stamina. He has quite a lot to improve, let's be honest. We've managed to get him tutored by Billy Sharp, so I think he's the best man to tutor him. Otherwise, we got Nicky Quinn who came through. He's a left back. Again, doesn't look that amazing, but this time he's more determined. So I'll need to actually put him on a tutoring. He's 15 years old. He has quite a bit of potential. So let's make Ender Stevens tutor him. There we go. That looks all fine. And then also Daniel Smith, who actually comes in at 1.5 star because he's got a bit more in the way of attributes that we want to see. Central defender. Pretty solid all around. He just needs to get a bit taller, ideally, maybe a bit heavier, to be honest. Decent strength, bit more pace before we'll be looking to really try him out. He might get some game time next season in the Cups, you never know. Other than that, not really much to talk about. Regan Slater, we had before, was out on loan. He's progressing reasonably well, playing in the Vanarama Conference. And this guy was the other guy to come through, Connor Grice, who looks decent as a central midfielder, but I feel like he's just probably not going to quite get to the level we want. So this is the team I'm going to go for. A game away against Ipswich. Ortola in goal. He's been really impressive, as I say, 7.02 rating in the last 5 games. Conser, Stearman and O'Connell. That's really just a matter of rotating Stearman in. He possibly might screw it up this game, but we'll wait and see on that. Lunsham in defensive mid, just sort of giving Hayden a rest. Lafferty and Baldock giving Stevens a rest on the left. Fleck comes in. Carruthers on that attacking midfield position. We usually have Coots in there, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. He has done well when he's come in there before. Donaldson and Crouch up front. We could go with Evans, we could risk going with Sharp, but Evans especially, I just don't feel like we can rely on him. He's been really quite poor this season in spells. He's one of the lowest average ratings. And Donaldson, as I say, he's been pretty good this season, so we'll give him a go. They're lining up in a 4-4-2. This is a formation that I really struggle a bit against, to be honest. It's pretty damn solid. Dominic Iorfa in there, Tommy Smith, Bartosz Bialski, a very good championship goalkeeper, Grant Ward, Martin Waghorn and David McGoldrick, pretty good combo up top. They've both got quite a few goals. Oh no, most assists and then most goals. So they're quite a good striking combo. How they'd probably like them to work up top at the moment. In terms of the team talk, underdogs, I don't really know. You can see they're sixth in the form table. We're in 11th. That's what we've been doing recently. Been able to actually maintain some consistency and have sort of mid-table-ish form. We got 8 points from our last 6, so that was pretty solid. And hopefully we can carry on at least doing as well as that, maybe doing a bit better, winning some of the games that we'd expect, like the ones against Leeds, or maybe getting an extra point like the ones against Hull or Fulham, and then maybe we can go into next season and mount more of a surge for the playoffs. They have been having the majority of the possession so far, but we have got the ball here. Carruthers, Fleck, see what he's doing, just back from injury. But there we go, that's not what we want to see. The ball coming over the top, Waghorn hits the bench, and that was messy from Conser and Ortola. They probably haven't got the languages sorted out yet. Ortola didn't know any English coming into the club. We got him on an intensive course. He has done well so far, so I can't complain too much. Even if he does make a cock up, that is pretty expected. Ortola with the goal kick. Crouch can't quite latch onto the end of it, but we do get the ball. Crouch here, he's going to be in a crossing position. It's one of those ones where it's it just hits the post, or the keeper makes a meal of it, and that is the end of the highlight. But there is another one here. Fleck taking Coots' position as the man whipping the ball in. Lafferty manages to find Fleck. Can he come inside, or is he going to go out wide? He goes all the way back to O'Connell. Baldock surging forward, plays it into Donaldson. He's been tackled, but we do get the ball back. Donaldson again, back to Fleck. Fleck's been involved a lot this game, and again it looks like we're going to be caught up with a cheeky lob over the back. That hasn't really happened that much recently, given that we managed to put Conser on cover. I thought we had that sorted, but that's happened a lot in this game. Luckily, I don't think they have a mass of pace up top, so hopefully we can avoid conceding from that. We're not doing badly at all, I would agree with that. Alright, Jack O'Connell's not that happy, but he's not massively unhappy, so that is good enough team talk. As I said last episode, I'm not brilliant at those. I generally leave them to the assistant manager, and that one has not gone too well either. They've just made a substitution in midfield, bringing on Emir Hughes, so we're going to take Fleck off, bring on Isaac Hayden actually this time. He's a bit more a defensive player. Hopefully he can battle him and stop any sort of excess fitness from Hughes being a problem. Hughes is on the ball now, plays it back into Chambers, decent ball out wide to Knutson and Garner with a poor attempt on goal. We've had a lot of attempts on goal. I'm just going to put it on work ball into box now. Take it off structured. Because we're just being too snappy in front of goal. I haven't really seen any chances for us, but we've just haven't been hitting the target, so hopefully that can help us hit the target, as there is potentially a chance now. Lafferty out left, Baldock knocks it back to Hayden, the man who's come on, and he scores. And well, that change in instructions had an evident effect. I'm just going to do this, tighten up now before I change the for the sort of way we're going to set up. We're going to go normal. We're going to take it off, close down more direct passing will be fine. Work ball in the box is fine. Play out of defence. No, we're going to put it on mixed. So let's see whether we can see out this game. Unlike the one against Wolves, we'll actually watch this game. It looked like quite a nice finish from Hayden. Baldock heads it down, and a great volley, half volley more like, from Hayden. He's not really an amazing finisher, but he has scored a few goals recently for us. As they come forward, Hayden does not quite get the ball back for us. Waghorn out on the left, and it's one of those which I will take. Keeper just tips it over. Maybe we'll see the corner. Maybe they will get a goal from this, but hopefully the highlight will be seen now, and it's not. Joe Garner smacks it in. Not ideal for us, but 76 minutes in, 1-1. I mean, a draw wouldn't be that bad. As I say that though, the ball launched into the box. Waghorn, and he scored. And that is demoralising. We've just changed our flipping tactics, and obviously they've not worked. I probably should have taken it off work ball into box. But aside from that, I was pretty sure that I'd really work. So it's really disappointing to concede 2 very quickly. A double salvo. And there may be another chance for them. Knudsen with a great long throw, and there is a cock up in defence, and Ward puts it in, and what is happening to us? Maybe I shouldn't have fiddled with the tactics. I did that instantly after the goal, and maybe that was the problem. We'll just see this little muddle in defence. What is that? Players just not even looking at the ball. So obviously there's still work to do with this formation and with the cohesion between the players. There's another chance. If they make it 4-1, I'll be very disappointed. But Crouch is on the ball, puts it wide. I am going to make a substitution up top. Crouch will come off for Evans after that pretty poor attempt. At least he's trying though. Like some of the defenders don't seem to be. It looks like this match is just going to tick away. 3-1 to them. Pretty disappointing. I thought we had a decent chance against them, given that they're in a similar kind of position to us. I don't think we deserve that, but as you know, a lot of those shots were long shots, so that was disappointing. I'm not happy with their performance at all. You might have seen there, Concert, plenty of interceptions, so he did not have a bad game, but the other 2 centre-backs did. Jack O'Connell, he's been playing pretty much every game, but that was not impressive for him. Let's have a quick look at the table then. We haven't really lost any more ground on these 2, but playoffs wise we haven't lost any more on them, but I don't think there's any chance really of that. 9 games to go. Let's have a look at the schedule. What I think I'm going to do is play until this last game, or maybe the last 2, and then watch those live in the last episode. I don't think it's worth having another episode just giving you a recap of 6 games which don't really matter unless we manage to win 7, 8, even 9 of these games. I don't think we're going to really have much chance of getting into the playoffs. And if we lose 9 of these games, even then I'm not sure we would actually sink into the bottom 3. So that's it for this episode. Next episode will be the end of the season. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye bye for now.